Hey guys, this is Orbit here from TGN. In this video, we are going to be showing you how to increase your combat rating to the very max, okay? From fresh level 30 right the way to top level CR, whilst keeping and getting as many skill points as you can get along the way. Sound good? Excellent. Nice. Okay, well, let's crack on. So first of all, when you first hit level 30, you're going to be you're not going to have very good gear. You want to start collecting your tier 1 suit, okay, to begin with. Here is your tier 1 suit, okay? There are 3 available tier 1 suits to you. There's 1 in each wing. At the moment, I'm in the tech wing. So here is the tech wing suit. It's inspired by steel, okay? There is also a suit inspired by flash, and there's also another suit which is inspired by Dr. Fate, I believe. Okay, and you can find them in the different wings, okay? But we want to be looking at the tier 1 to begin with. Now, if I just click on steel, okay, as you can see, each piece is between, 20 and 30 marks, okay? 25 and 30 marks, 40 marks, sorry, okay? So you want to be collecting this. How do we get marks of triumph? Okay, marks of triumph you can get from doing any of your, basically most content you can get marks of triumph from doing PvE stuff. So the first thing you need to do, guys, is do the vault each day. Okay, one player, queue up for the vault, because the vault will always give you a mark of triumph, okay, or at least one, but sometimes you'll find cases of marks of triumph, and if that's the case, if you do find cases, then you get obviously a bundle of marks of triumph, okay, which is obviously very, very good. So let's have a look. I'm just breaking the presents now. Bum 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 bum. It's normally in one of these ones. Here we are. Mark of triumph there. So we got, oh, it just went straight into my my pouch. Okay, so make sure, guys, you do the vault each day. Always do the vault for your marks of triumphs, because I spent 30 seconds doing that, and it's just adding to your marks of triumph. So make sure you do the vault each day. The next thing you want to be doing is your solo challenges, your duos, and your alerts. Okay, solo challenges is obviously 1 player, so you can queue that nice and easy. 2 players, your duos, so you can do that nice and easy. 4 players, in fact, it's all easy. Okay, so what you need to do after you've done the vault, 1 player. I suggest just doing 1 player. As you can see, it's got challenge mode tier 1. Now we're collecting tier 1, so this is what we're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 challenges we can do here, and the bonus will get marks of triumph. Okay, so make sure you do the challenges every single day. Okay, then move on to 2 player duos tier 1. Do all of your duos. Okay, 4 player, okay, alerts tier 1. Make sure you do these every day. Okay, now that's what you want to start doing when you first hit level 30. If I was to hit level 30, I'd make sure I do the vault every day. I'd make sure I do the challenges every day. Make sure I do the duos every day. Make sure I do the tier 1 alerts every day. That way you will collect your full tier 1 suit in no time at all. It might take you literally 2 days. Okay, probably, yeah, about probably 2 days. If you do, I'm talking not resetting, just if I was to do that all today and all tomorrow, I'd probably be full tier 1. Okay, I'm pretty sure, maybe 3 days. Okay, but I'm pretty sure it's about 2 days. Okay, once you've got full tier 1, guys, I'd start doing your raids. Okay, raids are 8 player, and as you can see, they start from tier 2. Okay, so now we've got full tier 1, we want to be starting collecting our tier 2 set. Okay, and the good thing about these raids is they drop gear higher than your tier 1. So this is kind of like tier 1.5 gear that you'll find in your tier 2 raids. So make sure you do your raids. You can queue for them, or you can shout out to get a group, and that would be really, really helpful towards getting your tier 2 set. Okay, so what do we do on top of our raids? Well, exactly the same, challenges, but instead of doing your tier 1 challenges, we now do tier 2 because that's the one we're collecting. So do tier 2 challenges, do tier 2 duos, do tier 2 alerts. It's pretty simple, guys. It's pretty simple. Okay, now this is not going to take you 2 days, okay, because the tier 2 set is a little bit more expensive. The tier 2 set is here. Okay, this is again, there's one in each room. This one's inspired by Batman. Really cool set. So if I just open this, you can see that the marks are a lot more. Okay, a lot more. So, you know, it's going to take you a lot longer to get this, but at the end of the day, you want to take your time. For the best results, you want to take your time. You don't want to skip skip tiers. Don't skip tiers, okay? First of all, you get 50-point feats for completing styles, okay? For completing the iconic styles. So make sure you complete all tier 1 before moving on to tier 2. Also, if you open up your deeds menu, go to Feats. Here's all your feats. I've already talked to you about this in previous videos, okay? So before you go into anything, make sure you check your feats to see what available feats are for you, okay? So for example, if we're doing our duos, okay? If we're doing our tier 2 duos, I'm going to go ahead and click on duos, and here are all of the duo feats, okay? So complete 10 duos, I'll get a 10-point feat there. So I'll make sure I complete 10 duos. Okay, speed force. Okay, it's got all of these are your speed feats. Okay, and it basically tells you the exact time you need to do the feat in under. Okay, then it's got hideouts. They're kind of little missions you can do inside of the duos. Guys, make sure you check the feats all the time, okay? Because there's nothing worse than doing something and then realizing, oh, I could have got that feat back then, and you're going to have to rerun content that you don't necessarily need to do. So anything you do, make sure you do feats when you're doing it. Same when you're leveling. Do your feats when you're leveling, guys, so you don't need to replay content. Okay? So collecting your tier 2 set is going to take you, maybe it depends on how keen you are, how much content you're doing, okay, but you can kind of get that probably in, you know, 3 or 4 days, I'd probably say, after your full tier 1. Then you want to move on to tier 3, okay, move on to tier 3. How do we get tier 3? Exactly the same. Exactly the same. It's pretty straightforward, guys, but you know, for newer players, maybe not so much. So if we're collecting tier 3, we go to tier 3 challenge mode, we do the tier 3 content, do the tier 3 solo stuff, do the tier 3 2-player, do the tier 3 4-player stuff, and then of course we can do the tier 3 Chase 'em, Power Core, Sunstone Matrix. We can do nicely, okay? So make sure you definitely go ahead and do them. Okay. By the way, if you're kind of at tier 3 stage, and you've got a lot of replays, Sunstone Matrix is the fastest way you can get Marks of Triumph. Okay, every replay you do of Sunstone Matrix will gain you 650 Marks of Triumph. So if you're a replay whore, you can just spam that out nice and easily. But assuming you haven't got replays, you're going to need to go through the process of solos, duos, alerts, raids normally. That's the best way to go, to be honest, guys, because there's so many feats in this content. If I was to just spam out FOS free all day, yeah, I'd get there quicker. I'd get my gear quicker, but I wouldn't have near enough skill points, and I'd need to go back into the solo stuff, into the duos, into the alerts to gain those skill points. And you know, before you know it, you've just wasted replays anyway. Okay, and don't forget, guys, if we're running tier 3 stuff, it will drop tier 2.5. okay, if we're running tier 2 stuff, it will drop 1.5. okay, so assuming you're full tier 3 now, okay, oh, let me show you where you get your tier 3 set first. And here we are, guys, at the tier 3 suits. Okay, so here is the healer style. Okay, here's the healer style tier 3. Let me just show you how much the prices will be, because they will be, again, a huge jump. So, you know, 2,750 for the head, etc. So 3,000 for the expensive part. So again, you know, each kind of tier you go up, it's going to be more expensive. Here is the controller tier 3 style. We're in the meta wing at the moment, guys, if you're lost. Here's the tank style. Love that style. I used to rock that hood before the wizard hat. Okay, and there's also a DPS style which you can find on each vendor, but the style isn't displayed. Okay, right, so moving on to tier 4. Here we are in the magic wing with the tier 4 styles. Okay, these are really, really cool. You can have any role in whichever style you want. Okay, so here is one of the tier 4 sets you can get. Love that style. That's the first tier 4 style I completed. Here's the second one. Here's the third tier 4 style. Here's the fourth one. Okay, and again, 50 points for each set you complete. So make sure you complete them, guys. Okay, it's going to take you some time, but it's well worth doing. Okay, the expensive pieces, 7,500 marks of triumph. Okay, so, you know, don't expect to just fly up to the top. It's going to take you some time, but the more time you spend in the other content trying to get this stuff, the more feats you will get along the way, and it will make you stronger. Because at the end of the day, we are collecting these suits to become stronger. Okay, you're collecting these suits to become stronger, to be able to do this content. Trust me, when you get to the higher level stuff, the tier 5 especially, skill points comes massively into play. Okay, so very important you start working on your skill points early, so when you get to the tier 5 you won't have that problem, and you won't be a nuisance to the group. Okay, and the last set is the tier 5, which you can find again in the meta wing. It's here after it's finished loading. Ta-da! This is the hero style. Okay, inspired by Aquaman. Okay, and again, guys, you know, whichever, it's pretty easy, whichever kind of set you're completing. Okay, if I'm collecting tier 5, I want to do the tier 5 stuff. Okay, if scroll all the way down, here's some oh, they haven't got any tier 5 duos. But they have got tier 5 4-player. Down here, and then obviously the raids. So just think of that, guys. Whichever kind of suit you are collecting, make sure you kind of queue for that content, okay, and complete the feats as you go, and before you know it, you'll have a nice full set. Now what I recommend doing is complete each full tier, whatever set it is you're completing, before moving on to the next set. Okay, A, you'll get more feats that way, and B, you kind of know where you're at. Okay, if I've got a little bit of tier 1, a little bit of tier 2, it starts to get messy, and you uncompleted styles, and you're not quite sure which content you should be doing. Just do it nice and simple. Complete full tier 1. Right, now I need to do tier 2. Complete full tier 2. Now I need to move on to tier 3, and move up and level up the proper way, how all the decent players have done it. Okay, because at the end of the day, nobody has skipped and jumped to tier 5 who has, you know, high amount of skill points. They've kind of gone up that ladder. So there's my tips, guys. Make sure you are doing this. Okay, hopefully it will help you to get your maximum combat rating. Definitely something that I would want to know, maybe if I was just starting a game, because when you start a new game it can be a bit confusing. But just queue up, guys. Queue up. That's it. Do the content. Don't just skip. Don't just get carried through Gates of Tartarus all day long. Okay, do all of the content. Okay, there's feats in all the content. By the time you reach tier 5, you should be at least 120, 130 skill points at the very least. If you've got any less, then you skip content. Okay, apart from that, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this has helped. Like, comment, subscribe.